Oh my love.
Lads, I'm in business today. The pony's up, sports bar's on. I just got back from a disco spin class. I'm doing the Camino in September, slightly off topic. Welcome to the garden video, straight in. And I only do exercise if it's fun. So I have been doing disco spin, which is not like, I wouldn't say it's fun, but the music is good. Anyway, I am actually prepping my garden I'm going away for 5 days, and my regular viewers will probably know I don't go away peak. I'm actually going to a wedding in Spain. I'm really excited because it's the first trip. Two of my friends, where we call each other the three amigos, and it's our first trip in years away with the three of us foreign, because we used to work with each other and we could never get the same time off, and we were all like made redundant and stuff, so we work different schedules in different places so we can actually all go away together. So I'm really excited, but I need to prep my garden, and 5 days is okay in Ireland. The temperature has cooled down, but my garden, I don't know if it was the heat wave or this kind of happens where some flowers just, they're not in bloom. So two of my purple geraniums, the one with the really vibrant flower on them, have lost all their flowers, and I'm gonna cut it back hard. And I don't know if it will come back for a second flush, but I'm gonna try it, because it's just looking a bit scaldy. Even the foliage is a bit scaldy, so I'm gonna cut back a couple of bits. I am going to plant Brussels sprouts, so I'm going to plant my Christmas dinner. I have plugs. Me and Karen were at an event, a garden event in the Arboretum last week, and we got veg plugs. So I got cabbage and sprouts, and one of the flower beds with the alliums in them have the seed heads. Thank you to the person who said dry them and use them as Christmas decorations, because I'm going to dry them and I might use them as Christmas decorations. They were saying you can spray them, so I'm going to cut them, put them in the greenhouse to dry out, and I'm going to do a bit of planting. And I also have to cut the grass. I let it just grow a little bit longer. I say a little bit longer because you know I love cutting the grass. I left the front grass to grow loads of clover and stuff, but that has started to kind of dry out, I think, with the hot weather that we had. That is the plan. I'm just prepping the garden before I go away. And anytime I go away, depending on the plant, if it's the hydrangeas, I'll ask my neighbour to water the hydrangeas. But generally the garden is grand. Everything is in the soil. Is in a flower bed, and I find with mulch and everything that doesn't dry out as quick. But I will this evening give everything a really good soak. And I also checked the weather forecast, and there is rain planned, I think, for Friday and Saturday, so that's okay. Also, when this video goes up, I will be back, so I am past me in the future, so I will be back in the garden. And I might even do the next garden video. I might even talk about this. There's Toffee. I might even share how my garden is after leaving it for 5 days. 5 days isn't really a long time. It'll be 5 nights, 6 days. So I know fellow gardeners are kind of in the same boat. You're like afraid to leave your garden this time of year because you're like, oh, what happened? Like, I'd never leave my garden for 2 weeks. During summer, I would have to get someone in to mind it for me. I couldn't come back to 2 weeks of crazy grass. Hands up who's the same. Let me know I'm not alone. And hence why I go on holidays off season when there's less to do in the garden. And yeah, less people on the planes and less people everywhere. Less people. Hashtag introvert. So headphones, apron, garden. So we are looking a little bit messy. But oh, look at the size in them, huge. Later on in the video as well, I'll talk you through. I was working with Board BA on an Instagram campaign, and I replanted up this, you know, my Shady wildlife kind of corner, that's what I was calling it. So I'll share a bit about that. This is the bed. These are alliums, huge. Just for comparison, this is my hand, this is the allium. So I'm going to just cut all these, save them, and yeah, see if I can use them later in the year as like a dried flower or something. The seed heads are so cool. Yeah, I might even leave 1 or 2 of them out just for the birds if they want to take seeds from them. And I have my veggie plugs over there. My niece was here. She was doing a little bit of art. So yeah, I just have to tidy things up. Also, if you see me wearing gloves, it's not because people keep telling me to wear them. It's because I got a manicure, and Elaine, who does my nails, shout out Elaine, she said if I see you putting them fresh nails into the soil before your holidays, I'll burst you. So just while I'm digging, I will put on my gloves. Also, I'm sharing this for anybody who doesn't know because I didn't know until last year and Karen showed me. So this is a seed head that flowered, and if you ever wondered where the seeds is, so if you brush this off, right, here is loads of sunflower seeds. So these are the seeds that the birdies eat. Now I think they need a little bit longer. Yeah, these ones just need a little bit longer to turn into seeds. I'm going to leave this head sitting on the ground. And that's what happened last year. I left these seed heads out for the birds and I ended up with a big bed of ginormous sunflowers. So just for anyone who didn't know this, and it was my pal Karen, lovely girly bits, who taught me this, because I always wondered where is the sunflower seeds in the flower, but you would just let this die off a bit more. So I'm gonna just pop that back in and leave it do its thing. And Miss Blondie is keeping watch. I think Toffee, who lives next door, she's not really a fan, so there could be a row now in a minute. Now, let's hope Mother Nature keeps my tomato plants alive. I may have to get this one watered while I'm away. I almost have my jobs done. Bar more watering this evening. I watered in the veg that I planted. I want to chat to you about my nature corner, but just for transparency and add disclosure, this was a paid campaign for Instagram with Board BA. So I just wanted to share it in my Sunday garden video, but it's not part of the campaign, so I just wanted to disclose my relationship with them. So my brief was to add to my shady corner. So if you remember, my kind of shady woodlandy corner that I did last year was looking a bit bitty. You can head to my Instagram if you want to see that reel. It's on my page. And I took the shady corner and I added plants, and one tip that Carol gave me, which was really good, and also the girl in the garden centre, was to plant in groups. And I don't do this, and it makes a big difference. When you're planting a plant, I will plant like one and she said to do 3, 5 or 7, I think, like an odd number. So because the area is small, I planted in groups of 3, and the likes of the Brunnery, I already have one, so I bought 2 more. And yeah, I'll give you a little look. I don't know I think if you want to know the names of the plants that I put in, go to Instagram, read the caption. I put the names of them in that. And the bug hotels, I didn't make those, but I'm looking at them going, I could make something similar. Let me know if you'd like that in a video. And yeah, I got them in the orchard, and everything else I got in Windy Ridge nursery. So I need to keep my voice down because I think all my neighbours are in the gardens. But I'll talk you through what I planted and how it's looking. So just past the pond area, lots of pond lilies, lots of growth, is the woodland corner. That little bucket is my nephew's. He takes the water from the pond because they're not tadpoles, I think they're water fleas, but he was here playing. So this is how it is looking now. Way more plants in it. So I think I spent €160 on the planting, which isn't too bad because they're perennials and we can cut them. Some of them are evergreen. So this was my original Brunnery, and I added 2 more. Then my heuchera was already these 3. There's some sort of muscari, and the girl in the garden centre was like, think of your foliages and get different foliages to add interest. These 3 are a foam flower, and I already have one here next to the pond, and all of these plants are shade loving, shade tolerant. I have 3 ferns just behind that in front of the hedgehog house, and she said that these ones are evergreen and they grow to a height, so I put them at the back. I'm going to say this is an aquilegia, but I could be lying. So the 3 tall ones at the back, I think it's a major, aquilegia major, but I could be lying. I know it begins with an A. Already had this one, already had that fern, heuchera, already have that, and then I added in these 3 grasses, and I'm not sure if they're evergreen, but like what the lady said about adding different textures. So you can head on over for like the before. My regular viewers, you'll know what I kind of look like, but this is how it's looking now. And I popped in the 3 bug houses to just tie in, because there's a hedgehog house there, my niece's fairy garden. So I copied a garden plan called the Nature Enthusiast Garden, and it's a free downloadable garden plan. So I'll put a link to that if you want to get like free garden inspo. We won't say no to that. So that is how it's looking. And I feel like every week we need to check in on the ginormous sunflowers. As some of them are getting a bit spent, there's like new ones popping up, and there's always loads of bees on them, which is amazing. I noticed that I have loads of tomatoes on my tomato plants, and that must be from all of the good pollination. The snapdragon bed is also starting to fill out. So if you saw me plant this, about a month ago, it was looking a bit scaldy, but this is starting to fill out. dahlias starting to open up as well. Also, I left the aphids on. Thank you so much for all the recommendations about using like dishwater, but here's my thinking. I'm going to leave them on it a little bit longer because I'm trying to attract ladybugs. If I kill all of the aphids, the ladybugs will have nothing to eat. So I'm going to leave it and just observe and see. And yeah, I'm trying to encourage what was like a balance, maybe. I don't know, like I've noticed I don't have a lot of green fly this year because a lot of the birds come in and they eat them. So this is my only kind of major pest problem at the moment, and like that I'm going to just see if nature will take care of it. If not, we'll be out with the dish soap. And also I've just noticed this dahlia. Oh, how pretty. Loving this. And I've been deadheading them, trying to encourage lots more flowers. And for a cup of tea, that's my job's done. I think that's all I'm going to get done. And if you have any tips actually on what you do if you're leaving your garden for a few days and you don't have an irrigation system, actually, interesting thing, the event I was at last week in the Arboretum, Adam Frost and I can't remember the other lad's name, was like hosting it. And he was saying how Adam Frost was, that when he designs a garden, he doesn't, obviously this is UK, Ireland climate, it's different if you're in a really hot place, that he doesn't put irrigation systems, he rarely puts irrigation systems in gardens. And he was saying, I think it was about like having the right plants for like your soil and things like that. And I was like, oh, that's a good point, because like it's only this time of year I would have to water the garden. Obviously it's cooler now than it was in my last couple of videos when we had our little heat wave. So that's good, that retains the water more because the heat isn't as hot. Obviously asking a neighbour to help out. For anyone who's curious, my house does get minded, so people, like there just be people here for Blondie. Blondie doesn't go off to like a cattery, is that what it's called? And she says here, because I've said it before, it ain't her fault I'm going away on a trip, so I don't want to put her somewhere and she would be stressed. So she still gets the life of Riley, family and friends live in my house while I'm gone, and they could water the plants for me. But the thing is, I hate asking a non-gardener to do a garden thing. I just wouldn't put that pressure on them, so I like to look after, do as much as I can, and then if I check the weather when I'm away and if a sudden heat wave comes out, I can be like, water the plants. But yeah, if you have tips on, I know you can get like drip irrigation systems, and obviously if you live in a really hot place, I'd say you would need that sort of thing, but a lot of my neighbours, we don't have anything like that I know of, but it is an option. Now I actually need to go finish packing. And I need to hoover the house, and I need to change my bed sheets because I love coming back to lovely bed sheets. Like I said earlier in the video, I will be back when this video goes up. I also need to edit this video. The joys of being self-employed, no paid holidays. So on that note, I bid you adieu, cheeky thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.